Hey everyone. So this live is especially for all the parents tomorrow. The parents in town. You know, our kids are going back to school. Tomorrow's the first day of school, and I just wanted to talk about the first day of school for a little bit. I'm not a overly emotional person, and some mothers find that different because, you know, the first day of school it's emotional. It's emotional for the kids, it's emotional for the parents. I was lucky enough when my son was an infant that he stayed home for the first few months. I don't think he went to daycare. He didn't go to daycare until he was 6 months old, and even then when he went to daycare, he went to the center that I worked at, so he was right there. It was easy. So the first real emotional first day of school I had was his first day of kindergarten, because I was dropping him off at a before school program in a town where he didn't know anybody, and I will never forget the look on his face. This poor kid went pale as a ghost, and he's not a shy child, and he is very talkative and he's outgoing, and to see he didn't actually cry, he didn't get upset. The teachers at the before school program were very comforting, but to just see your child's face like that is hard and it's difficult. And I just remember getting into the car before I drove away being like, oh my gosh, is he gonna be okay? So that was the first experience I had, and that was kindergarten, and that was 9 years ago. The rest of school, first, second, third grade were good. In fourth grade, he went to the middle school. Fourth, fifth, and sixth were good. Seventh grade, I wouldn't necessarily say I was emotional about it. I was a little worried because I was like, oh man, he's going to be like, you know, the young kid. In our town, it's a junior, senior high school, so he was at the high school at seventh grade. But then again, like I said, he's outgoing, he's talkative, he makes himself known, he makes his presence known, and he talks to anybody. Plus, he plays sports, so a lot of the older kids he's known from playing football in town and baseball and basketball, so that was a little bit of a relief too. And he did well. You know, it's seventh grade, and even though they're at the same school as the high schoolers, they only go over there for like gym and the cafeterias in the high school, so they're not spending all day with like seniors in high school. But tomorrow is the first day of his freshman year of high school. And I'm feeling a little emotional about it. I'm feeling a little emotional about it because for a couple reasons. One, that means there's 4 more years and he graduates high school. Like, that was the fact that 4 years are the last 9 years of his school have gone by so quickly. The last 14 years of his life have gone by so quickly. So I can only imagine how fast 4 years are going to go by. And 2, it's because, you know, it's 9th grade. He's a freshman in high school now. And this is where, you know, it's going to make it or break it. Like, even if he struggled a little bit in 7th and 8th grade, academically, he's going in to 9th grade with like a clean slate. So, you know, obviously academics are super important, and he does struggle in a couple of subjects, so that is, you know, always on my mind. But not only that, this is high school. Like, this is not junior high. This isn't little kid stuff anymore. You know, I wasn't in high school that long ago, so I know how things go. Like, I know what high schoolers do, so I'm having a hard time. And I know I talked about this before on a live with you guys, and some of you might have watched it, some of you might not have. I think the part I'm struggling with the most is not micromanaging. I don't want to micromanage his time as a freshman in high school. Obviously, I'm his parent, so I need to know what's going on. But at the same time, I have to find a good balance on when it's time to, you know, let him make choices and let him make decisions and let him do the right thing. And if he does the wrong thing, then he has to be responsible for the choices he made, and he has to be the one to deal with the consequences and any punishment that might come up if it was the wrong choice. I think it's really hard as parents sometimes to, you know, give our kids that freedom and give our kids that space and, you know, not hover over them, because we want to know what they're doing. We want to know that they're making the right choices and that they're making the right decisions, but at the same time they're learning life just like we learned life, so we have to take a step back. And I think that's what I'm having the hardest time with is, he's getting older, and he's 14, he's about to be 15 next year. He's going to be getting his learner's permit and his license, and he's just getting older, like big kid older, and he's not my little boy anymore, and all these things are happening, and I'm having a hard time not wanting to micromanage his every single move and every step that he takes and every decision that he makes. So I just wanted to come on. I just wanted to let you guys know, I'm probably struggling with the same thing you guys are struggling with. I have, my own, I've given tips before on how to deal things like this, but I know that there's a bunch of you parents out there. I know that some of you are probably watching this, and, we're not alone. We're all struggling with the same thing. So any advice or tips that you guys have, that'd be great. Most importantly, I want to know, like, how do you guys feel on your kids' first day of school? Like, what are your feelings, and what are the thoughts, that are going through your head, and what's the hardest part of your kids' first day of school? I'd love to hear that, because it will make me feel like I'm not all alone in this. I know it's getting late, so I'm not going to stay on too much longer. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to hearing, what other tips, ideas, or struggles that, we're all doing and going along with together. Have a good night, guys.